for the 23-13 Atlanta Dream, who've won 4 of their last 5.
It's been opened up her game on the outside.
Let's take a look at our for himself, winning the most games for a first-time head coach. Matchup center, and Jordan Canada starts things off. And how good is it to see her on the floor, who missed the Indiana Fever game due to sickness, but came back on a tear and picked up 2 good wins for the Atlanta Dream recently. Ryan Howard out of the gate. That is a player that when you see her get going.
It's a big reason why Atlanta has seen a lot of success. It hasn't just been in the fast break, but also the outside game, shooting over 60% in that win versus Los Angeles. Lights out.
Making her 115th three on the season. That's back-to-back seasons where she's had 100 or more threes for Phoenix, and Atlanta returns the favor as that was overthrown to Angel Reese.
Phoenix team is 3rd in the league in free throw makes and personal fouls drawn. Atlanta's got to play smart.
Downhill, Jordan Canada takes the bump. That's going against Kalia Kopp for this squad.
Yeah, and you can see the difference she makes. You mentioned the Fever game that she did play in, the last 5 games that Atlanta's lost, and JC wasn't there for it.
Here comes Alyssa Thomas, who's now 3rd in assists on the season after last year having a single season record for assists, and DeWanna Bonner strikes for the Phoenix Mercury, putting them on the board.
And she's continuing Phoenix team.
Yeah, they haven't played a game in 6 days. The last game coming in a game where right now I can't even get the thought out because Ryan Howard
walks off the air, and I say it all the time. Ryan Howard has got to be able to score the rock for Atlanta. Yes, she's one of the best defenders, still leads the league in steals per game, but when she scores the way that she does, Atlanta shooting over 60% of their last game from 3, this team is going to be very hard to face, especially when it comes to playoff time.
Runs through Ryan Howard as she gets the ball back at the top of the key, pulls up again, and that might have been a heat check. Too strong on the 3. Alicia Gray gets in on the action, too strong for her as well. Another offensive rebound, that one going to, of course, Angel Reese. Working the baseline is Ryan Howard. The dive, Angel Reese left alone, and that's easy money for number 5.
And that's going to be really hard out of that pick and roll. Have gotten a win over Atlanta this season so far.
If Atlanta wins today, they will be able to clinch their spot in the playoffs. Alyssa Thomas working on the baseline, and a nice dish on the inside to Roshan, who gets it back in the corner. 8 on the shot clock. Copper going against Jordan Canada, draws a foul, and just off with dropping in the. That is also a game we would be remiss if we didn't mention that in that very arena they dropped a game against Portland that actually for them was also to celebrate Diana Taurasi in her jersey being retired. So they've had some time to relish in that moment, seeing if they can bounce back. But right now, Ryan Howard has other plans.
She wants her, briefly jumped her in the standings and leading in threes, but Ryan Howard so far with 3 3-point makes, and we're still not even halfway through the first quarter.
All of them coming from beyond the arc. Her 9 points as Alyssa Thomas knocks that out of bounds. It'll go back to
as well. They've got 3 assists on 4 made field goals. And this Atlanta team, 92% of their threes are assisted on, so they've got to be able to get them off the pass.
Offense is flowing right now for Atlanta. Naz Hillman on the dive. Didn't like the look. Gets it back to Ryan Howard again. Look out as Ryan Howard has now knocked down 4 threes, and we haven't even made it to the first official media break.
Something has switched and flipped on for Ryan Howard as Alyssa Thomas extends the possession.
Up 11, Sammy Wickham tries to respond, can't. Alicia Gray was able to get a hand on it, but Alyssa Thomas comes in to track it down.
Thomas's man didn't box her out.
Thomas thought she had a mouse in the house. Instead, Sammy Wickham gets the spray out for the 3.
This Phoenix team is not a good offensive rebounding team. They're near last in the league, but so far they've had a few possessions that have been extended through second chance opportunities.
Off the mark for Jordan Canada on her first attempt. Atlanta coming off of a very impressive win, 124-88 against the LA Sparks, the most points that you've put up in the W. And continuing to try and build on it here is Alicia Gray on the take, gets fouled.
A lot of contact.
Jordan Canada trying to contain Kalia Copper from getting in the paint. There's a foul on the Sammy up top. Takes the 3 and off the mark. Angel Reese can't extend the floor, knocking down 2 threes in the previous game. where she was indeed 9 for 9 from the field. Gets the steal. That's the third standing player in the steals department.
Says count it.
To hold all 3 top spots in that category in league history as Kalia Copper is now on the board. Kalia Copper coming into her own as well for this season after them losing Satu Sabali. Their big 3 looks a little bit different. Kelsey Plum still on the bench right now. She was questionable of her own.
Atlanta's offense, the three-point shooting is absolutely spurred by their defense and ball movement, without a doubt.
The double team came just slightly late for Kalia Copper. I love the fact that every opportunity for Medina to talk about who has been able to mentor her, to walk her through the steps of, she got those titles with the Las Vegas Ace. LA for a couple of seasons, but on August 20th rather, was games with them and has been out with a leg injury. Medina Okot on the dive.
Get the positioning and finish the shot.
Kalia Copper sends it back out, off the mark.
Look at
for Lexi Hell.
Going in there.
That is the standard in which Carl Smesko wants from her. The deep seal underneath, and that's off the mark. And Natasha Mack, top 10 in the blocks department in Jordan, Canada, will commit the foul against Lexi Hell.
And I love the camera guy in the last couple games because they've been going into the huddles just talking about how Carl is saying, I'll get you a sub, as Tahina Pow knocks down the 3, but telling his team to offense.
It is good to see Tahina Pow back on the floor for Atlanta. She missed 9 games with a leg injury. Coming off a game where she had 8 points, instant offense, but a turnover for Angel Reese. Roshan at the rim, too strong. Here comes Alicia Gray. Gray takes on the committee, count the bucket, and she'll get 1 more at the charity stripe. Floor that she's working it like a video game. That's how quick she gets through every single zone down the floor.
Marketing agencies, Angel Gray is available for another job because that is one of the best ideas I think I've heard in a really long time.
I don't know, slash pet, it would also be good for the coaches too.
Man, you need to go patent that right now.
Izzy Borlace tries to see if she can get the Euro. Instead, it's blocked. And it will stay with Atlanta. 17 on the shot clock. So 5 players that are right now logged over 1,000 minutes.
Ryan Howard has been leading the league in minutes most of the season as Medina Okot gets a charge call on the inside, and that little extra beat, the defense was needed.
Oh, Smesko agrees. 5 on the shot clock. DeWanna Bonner misses that completely as Atlanta
success with what they were doing, and as they remind each other game to game to keep their foot on the pedal, they know they get it done by getting those steals and deflections, and we've seen it and heard it in the past few post games where they've seen success from getting their hands inside of those passing lanes.
Ayayi off the bounce, knocks down the tray, makes it from Atlanta offensively. This is still very much within reach for the Phoenix Mercury as they start off the second quarter with a 3. Angel Reese working her way on the inside and earned the
shot and assessing where the defense is playing her, then going in and taking advantage of the openings.
Angel Reese with 6 points, 3 for 4 from the field. We do have a foul that's going against Atlanta. We'll have to sit dealing with a little bit of foul trouble here in the second quarter.
Kalia Copper going on the inside against snuck underneath the defense, and Phoenix has gotten a couple points in the paint so far tonight.
Kalia Copper with 8 points in 10 minutes. As we mentioned, 6 in scoring so far this season. Angel Reese gets another look on the inside, going right over the top of Mack, but couldn't connect.
Natasha Mack is a shot blocker on the inside. She's got 1 so far in this game, but going against her down there in the paint can be formidable at times.
But she's only had 1 block in the last 5 games. Ryan Howard shooting lights out. You know the hedge is coming very high where Ryan Howard gets the ball. And Nas Hillman says, don't worry about it. I can cash in too.
Everybody on this team can shoot 3s. Carl Smith as well. Well, that's one of the reasons that Angel Reese said she came to Atlanta is because of the development that Smesco has had with Naz Hillman.
Hit 53 threes last season. The first 3 seasons in her career, she only knocked down 1. So yes, Carl Smesco can absolutely develop.
To draw fouls on Atlanta's defense.
Another inside look for DeWanna Bonner this time, and she gets 2.
I like that look better for DB, taking advantage of smaller guards on her. She's so lengthy and rangy. Did knock down her last 3, but decided to take that one on the inside.
The assist goes to Alyssa Thomas, who was flirting with a triple green.
That is insane.
I mean, she is the all-time leader in regular season and playoff triple doubles. Regular season 21, playoff 6. Off the mark for Atlanta.
And a sigh of relief from Phoenix because that was in and out for Borlase.
Atlanta's already made 7 threes tonight. Kalia Copper again working her way to the rim. And as you mentioned, Tabitha, she has had a sense of urgency in the paint.
She hooked the defense on that one, but you know what, a lot of...
Where she's been on a tear here in the second quarter. Now with 11.
Fouled, and that's a big reason why JC is now on the bench with 3.
Jordan Canada with 3, and all of the other starters for Atlanta have at least 1 foul assessed.
Reese, though, noticing that she's one-on-one defense right up in her, so she just puts it on the deck.
8 points for Angel Reese as this game flow has been a little choppy with the whistle as Borlase, also a champion in this league where she won her title in 2021 with the Chicago Sky, walked away as the finals MVP, so has a lot of experience of putting the ball in the bucket.
Gray knew the assignment. Excellent.
I don't know about that one. Alicia Gray gets it on the wing. Didn't like the look, actually drew the double team. Angel Reese. Alicia Gray, irate, wanted the foul there. It's Alyssa Thomas. I'm not sure if she even knows her own strength. And she is just that. I like it. As Izzy Borlase works her way to the rim. What I've loved most about Izzy Borlase is that her consistency.
Tall for who can be consistent coming in to score off the bench, but also two-way playing as defense.
Sammy Wickham can get hot really quickly. Makes it a 7-point game, and Sammy Wickham with her second 3. Ryan Howard looking for the response. The Euro drops it in.
And that's the calling that we were talking about before. We've been wanting to see from Ryan Howard is putting the ball on the deck.
Spin move, Alyssa Thomas. Just short on the take. Ryan Howard in the previous possession picking up her first points of the quarter. Look how far out Kalia Copper is trying to deny Ryan Howard. Right. The dish to Angel Reese. Has time to line it up. Short on the 3.
On target, but short.
That is something that Carl Smesco has continuously worked with Angel Reese, as Atlanta was able to get it back. Naz Hillman working in the open floor, and more points for Atlanta off of a turnover that brings a timeout for the...
Not just the top 3 who are getting the steals, it's other players. It's Ryan Howard.
Close to another one. Kalia Copper able to retrieve it at half court. 5 to work with. Lexi Held steps on the baseline, or actually the sideline rather, and that's it.
You've got 4 starters with a steal apiece, but then look at the bench. Medina Okot with 2 steals herself, and then Izzy Borlase with 1 right before the break.
Atlanta 2-0 on the road trip so far. We have 2 more to go, including this one in Phoenix, and then a final one with the Sparks before heading back to Atlanta. As a kickball will reset things from Beauchamp. Against Borlase, short on the 3. That'll go out of bounds and back to Atlanta.
Well, one thing for Phoenix, if Atlanta has an empty possession,
DeWanna Bonner and Kalia Copper. Medina had to come up to the free throw line to grab the ball. Angel Reese trying to work on the inside. DeWanna Bonner might have caught something in
Reese. Looks like she got poked in the eye down there. Still not in the play.
Lexi Held take, nothing there. Medina Okot with the rebound. As you mentioned, DeWanna Bonner still on the other side of the floor, the back door. Now Alicia Gray strikes again. Biggest lead for Atlanta
And that was basically Atlanta going 4-on-5 because DB still can't see out of one eye.
Set outside for Kalia Copper. Count the bucket. Kalia Copper, as we mentioned, an all-star in her own right, 5-time all-star also. Has had 8 games, 25 or more points. She can definitely light it up. Atlanta has to find an answer for her now, as she is sitting with 13.
And they're going to have to get some more help from somebody else on Phoenix's team as far as offense.
Olivia Miles and the league-leading Minnesota Lynx at 3. That'll be back on ANF for that game as well. Go to atlantadream.com for more ticket information. As you can see, a couple of people in the building. It travels. Angel Barbie across the way as we have a halftime feed. Alicia Gray, who've been phenomenal with building off of their brand this season. Barbies are off the shelf.
I know, I can't find one. It's so evil.
Angel Reese outside another 3. That one's off the mark.
I know in that last huddle, they told her to shoot the shot. She was hesitant and passed up a couple right before the last timeout.
Alyssa Thomas flicks it up, nothing there. Alyssa Thomas still sitting at 2 points. And that comes down with the rebound. Approaching the 90-second mark here in the first half. Lexi Held tries to get things going for the Phoenix Mercury. Kalia Copper's been red hot in the quarter. I don't think she was expecting that one, though. Here comes Izzy Borlase up the floor and finishing at the rim. What a performance we're seeing from Borlase. Ryan Howard in the second half.
They're putting her foot on the pedal when it comes to scoring, but when you have teammates like Alicia Gray and Reese who can score the basketball, I don't want to say can take plays off, but she can have a quarter where she only gets 2 points.
Well, Kalia Copper can get it going very quickly. In the second half, she decided. Looks like a portion of the FIBA World Cup team for USA, as well as 4 players on the floor are going to be represented for USA. Therese Ryan Howard, Kalia Copper, and Kelsey Plum, who is currently on the bench right now for Phoenix. The steal and a travel call. 1 too many steps, drove the foot for Alyssa Thomas, who's still in the Kevin Fahey.
This is where Atlanta's got to tighten it up on the offensive end. You can see Phoenix at the end of that second quarter was shot out of a cannon on the defensive end.
Angel Reese on the putback, gets it to go down. First points for Atlanta in the second half.
That's Reese's second offensive rebound of the game so far.
Another steal for Reese. Decides to bring it up the floor. Finds Ryan Howard in the trail, doesn't like it, so more offense coming from Atlanta. Jordan Canada, who sat out an extended amount of time in the first half because of the 3 fouls that she picked up early in the second. Alicia Gray off the bounce, beautiful dime to Angel Reese, 2 more underneath.
And I think that's part of the chemistry that we've been, who's diving to the rim and knowing that they're going to be there.
Underneath again, Kalia Copper does a very good job with using her length at 6'2", 6'1", to be able to get to the floor, or excuse me, on the inside.
Speaking of getting on the floor, Jordan Canada right there with the go-ahead layup, doesn't get it to go.
And Phoenix has really been able to take it the official's ear there. So Ryan Howard will get the shot. And can't complete the 3-point play as Angel Reese gets the rebound. Ryan Howard now sitting with 3 fouls, so that's her and Jordan Canada as another turnover for the Dream. And a different look for Phoenix. Phoenix has been a second-half team throughout this entire.
They're deflecting some passes, getting steals to start this third.
Phoenix outscoring Atlanta 9-5 in this quarter. It's Ryan Howard, collected, and just short on the 3.
Reese just got boxed all the way out of the frame by Alyssa Thomas.
Alyssa Thomas coming down the floor, trying to find Juana Bonner. That was briefly deflected by Ryan Howard. Juana Bonner, turn around, no. 11-point lead for Atlanta. Up as many as 15 at half. Angel Reese in the trail, 0 for 3 from outside.
And no rebound, was quick shots. I mean, they're nice when they go for Atlanta, but when they don't, it's tough.
Alyssa Thomas has had a game offensively. Now 1 for 4 from the field. She does have 9 rebounds and 6 assists though.
Doing what she can, because the ball's not going to fall every night when it comes to putting the ball in the hoop, but you can control your effort.
The C's parted for Alyssa. That was wiped off the leg by Jordan Canada. The corner 3 missed the part that counted, but Kalia Copper with the finish underneath has missed the last 3 games. We're going to see her back on the floor soon, but that's how you want Atlanta to come out of the timeout, putting points on the board for Alicia Gray.
Yeah, Carl Smesko had to get his team back in order. The reason why he took that timeout, because the points in the paint have skyrocketed for Phoenix. They had 2 points in the paint to start the half. They've got 16 right now.
Rashawn, corner 3, yes.
And that's opened up their game from the outside. This is what Atlanta does from here on out.
8-point game, backdoor by Alicia Gray. There is a foul. Sammy Wickham does not agree.
Offensive end, this is where Atlanta has got to dial back into what they did to start this game.
Alicia Gray gets it back at the top of the key. Wing 3 for Nas Hillman, off the mark.
But it touched 3 different hands, and so Atlanta at least has the ability to get back and get set up on defense.
Atlanta's been able to knock down 7 threes on the night, all of them coming in the first half. Kalia Copper, that time, there was a wall built up for Atlanta's defense.
Yeah, Nas Hillman that came over and helped side and stopped all of that.
Nas Hillman working on the inside, bodies hovering around her, and there's not too many times that you're going to win that fight against Alyssa Thomas. So Nas Hillman picks up the foul.
Man, that was gruesome. Get better soon.
Kalia Copper has Alicia Gray picking up her 2nd foul on the night after not committing any fouls against the Sparks in their previous game. And they make this. They're looking to try and stop this run. Going Canada outside, no.
And again, barely any rebounders down low, and that's the style of offense that Atlanta likes to play. 4 out, 1 in when Okot's on the inside.
Sammy Wickham turned down the 3, has already knocked down 2. Brochamp, toss on the inside to Natasha Mack, and she didn't have the juice. Gray gets it back top the key, sprays it in. Much needed bucket for Atlanta.
Pay attention to that last possession. And made it so that she was going to get some unset defense, but Kalia Copper, my goodness, another and 1 for the Mercury.
Kalia Copper has been Kalia Copper this time outside. Oh boy.
Howard went under the screen, and that was a bit too much space from Copper. I like that play because it was off the inbounds.
Did I mention that Kalia Copper already has 8 games where she has for Atlanta?
Now, Alicia Gray said, enough of that. I'm going to shoot this 3 in transition myself.
Corner for Sean. And now she's found her touch. It's a 3-point ball game. Has really found their flow here in the 3rd. Atlanta with the lead, momentum with Phoenix. Reese sends it back out, gets another touch on the block. 8 on the shot clock. Reese, the answer.
I like it. She gave it back. Jordan Canada gave it right back to her after she repositioned. It was one-on-one.
Kalia Copper again outside and knocks down back-to-back triples, making it a 2-point game. She is red hot tonight. Angel Reese, another look, working, body ball on the inside, gets her own rebound and collects another 2 underneath.
With one eye, get it on the defensive end and get a stop.
Well, we've seen her block a shot with 1 shoe. We'll see what she can do with 1 contact.
Oh, you know what? This is impressive.
This is that to Medina Okot. I think earlier in the season, was it her that gave a contact to Carl Smesco.
For her team on the next play, and then tells the referee and draws attention and says, my contact.
We can have a scouting report against her, and sometimes it just doesn't work. She is searching for yet another 20-10 performance. That would be her third consecutive. C8, Angel Gray, alongside Tabitha Turner, here for you as we're calling from the home studios. And Atlanta trying to push to 3-0 on this road trip for their West Coast swing. Jordan Canada on the inside to Shaw.
Good take, though. Keep putting the pressure on the inside in the paint. That's what's made them a good contender right now in league standings. They got to get back to that.
Clea Copper, the Euro step on the inside, drops it in. She's been money in the second half.
She's just flipped this game on its head solely by herself, defense to offense.
33 points from Ms. Copper as Angel Reese delivers and yet again has another 20.
It's the issue on the inside. It doesn't matter what the score is. They're going to go inside and remind their team that that's their bread and butter.
She has the best plus-minus right now for Atlanta, plus 11 for the starters. Ryan Howard got the steal, and Clea Copper, like a yo-yo, yanked her back. Is being reviewed right now for an upgrade as well. Kevin Fahey, Tony Point game, as Ryan Howard knocks down the first of the pair, and Clea Copper just finds success against Atlanta for whatever reason. Had 38 points.
You to stop bringing it up, but it's your job.
Well, I apologize. I apologize. 6-point ball game. Atlanta gets it back. Angel Reese gets the touch on the block, going at Mack again. And a travel violation against the
half.
It's the 8th turnover for the Dream. They've given up 7 points off of them. 2-possession ball game. DeWanna Bonner, who's been quiet after the first quarter. DeWanna Bonner just sitting with 6 points. Ryan Howard gets free. Momentarily finds Nas Hillman up top.
Clutch.
And extends the lead.
Nas Hillman, some timely threes for Atlanta and clutch moments. That's her second of the night.
Nas Hillman now with 43s made on the season.
Those are threes.
Another whistle. So Jordan Canada picks up her 4th. And Atlanta starting to rack up fouls. Stop the clock and gives it back to Phoenix. And Phoenix outscoring Atlanta by 10, making it as close as a 1-point game after Atlanta had the 15-point lead at half. Deflection and another steal by none other than Angel Reese.
Beautiful use of her length at the top, and that's what you get when you've got 6'5" at the top. That length in her arms, her wingspan, affected that shot.
Gray somehow found it. Jordan Canada too strong on the shot, and Alyssa Thomas collects the rebound. Trying to push it up the floor, looking for her pieces up the floor as well as Alyssa Thomas. And DeWanna Bonner on the rebound puts it back.
Tip back at the rim and get the defender to foul you. You never give them the opportunity to get that rebound. And that's what DB just did on that possession.
The W's all-time winningest player, and that's regular season and playoff, has the most points current active player in the W. She's 3rd all-time behind none other than one of her former teammates in Tina Charles, right in front of her.
I love all the jokes last season about how DT's records weren't going to be broken, but Angel Reese has been setting records game after game after game for Atlanta, and she is not relentless.
Like a bull on the inside. And Angel Reese continues to impress. As a foul up top, and Alicia Gray beside herself. And a couple of her teammates coming in for a woo-saw moment. That's gentle criticism from her teammates. Phoenix does get the ball back. 10 on the shot clock as Alyssa Thomas has had a hard time trying to score over Angel Reese. DeWanna Bonner lost her footing, turns the ball over.
Ryan pulled the chair from underneath her.
Now Tillman lines it up for the three again, just off the mark, and DeWanna Bonner comes down with the rebound. Alyssa Thomas going on the inside with the left, drops it in. And here comes Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah, she's been struggling from the 8 for AT, for her 8th point.
She does have 13 rebounds and 10 assists, so just needs another bucket in this ball game for yet another triple-double. That is what she does best, better than anyone in the league. Finding Mack on the block, going against Naz Hillman, decides otherwise. Alyssa Thomas with the Euro on the inside. And that bucket will not go in. 2 free throws on the way for Alyssa Thomas as clicked in Angel Reese. And we can go across the timeline with her time in Atlanta and just see different moments where she said, I'm challenging myself to be better, where Carl Smesco challenged her to be better. And she has responded in every scenario. Jordan Canada responding with a triple of her own, makes it a 9-point game.
We heard Jordan Canada talk about the confidence to shoot. She knocked down a 3 early, missed a few in between in that 2nd and 3rd quarter, but just kept up tonight with getting to the free throw line, and that's how they started to make their push even in the 2nd half. Yeah, they're too many for any team in the league.
DeWanna Bonner cashes in on the 2nd free throw. If we're catching trouble, looks like those are those with 4. How about Naz Hillman with 3, and then Angel Reese with 2. Dina Okot on the bench right now with 3 as well. 5 on the shot clock. Jordan Canada looking for some space and draws the foul.
And Atlanta frustrated.
I was confused by Naz Hillman. Almost had the same reaction as Sammy Wickham.
Naz came out of nowhere and said, why we not getting the call?
Stephen Fahey's like, we've got no success as Jordan Canada knocks down the 2nd of the pair. And again, makes it a Phoenix gets it to Alyssa Thomas. The patent spin move and a triple-double indeed for Alyssa Thomas. Now with 11 points, 14 rebounds, and 10 assists.
Yeah, the little hezzy on the shot. Made that one successful, but Angel Reese on the other side through to the interior for Atlanta.
Alyssa Thomas with some bully ball on the inside. Looked like a little bit of volleyball for a second as Ryan Howard able to snatch that one away. Wait for Gray on the inside and drew the foul. Alicia Gray again, so fast, so quick, and so canny.
Alicia Gray again reminding her teammate that this is my superpower. Get 2 feet in the paint, and that's how she gets her offense going.
Alicia Gray able to connect on the free throw. A loss that was not to her liking. So again, we got to expect that after this game, and Atlanta has a lot of work to do in this ballgame to close it out, that LA's waiting on them on their home floor and wanting different results after that embarrassing loss for them.
And that's exactly what Naz Hillman told us in the postgame. His cock hopper is not done for her 35th point of the game. But I love what LA's not going to allow us to come back in here and do that again for a 2nd game. So we've got to be prepared to clean up what we need to clean up and come back and play an even better game. Same when it comes to seeding to finish this season out.
Atlanta, after last year clinching a top 4 seed, seeing where they will map out things at the end of the regular season. Carl Smesco able to become the head coach with the most wins in his first year. Finished 30 and 14. And we'll see how Atlanta shakes out this season. Look at the amount of attention that Kalia Copper is bringing on.
So it opened up offense for her, but as well as for her teammates.
Kalia Copper about 15 points ahead of her season average. so far tonight, makes it an 8-point game, can make it 7 with another make, and might I add that she's one of 4 players that has scored 40 or more points on the season.
She's going to break her own record against Atlanta. You mentioned that 38 last quarter.
Ryan Howard, who averages about 17 points per game against Phoenix, sitting at 18, and a nice bucket on the inside.
I like that move just because you got Angel Reese, and her and DB are about the same height, but Angel Reese has got a little bit more girth on her, just takes advantage of the paint.
Backdoor, Sammy Wickham. Was a major collapse with Ryan Howard and Angel Reese.
Back to back to back.
Mercury ball.
Stays with Phoenix, 12 on the shot clock again for Atlanta. Not sure what's happening.
You gotta love this team.
Sammy Wickham on the inside, works it. Rashawn from the corner, 11 threes for both teams. Interesting.
Maybe they should have let Carl do that challenge. Would have stopped that 3.
Now Tillman sends it out. Can Gray respond with a 3 of her own? No. But Angel Reese does with the 2.
You've got Naz Hillman and Alyssa Thomas jockeying for the rebound on the strong side, but who's on the weak side? None other than the #1 offensive rebounder in the league with the putback in Reese.
Has a franchise record, 25 double-doubles, the fastest to 900 and 1,000. WNBA historic side. If there is a rebound, it is collected by Angel Reese.
And speaking of history, Angel, we talked about this before the game. She was 4 games away, or 4 double-doubles away from setting the league record. Now, after tonight, she's going to need...
Alicia Gray was able to draw the foul against Sammy Wickham. As the ball at the top of your screen, finds Ryan Howard. Angel Reese taps the ball to herself and gets fouled by DeWanna Bonner.
Foul strikes for 24, DeWanna Bonner. That's her first.
Enough to get the ball up.
Angel Reese coming off a game where she was perfect from the field. 9 for 9, knocked down points, 10 rebounds. But it's everything that she's been able to do on the season. She has had 10 or more rebounds since July 19th. That was against Chicago.
Last game versus the Sparks where she had 20 and 10. She also had 8 assists and 3 steals. So she had a near triple-double just a game ago. The activity level from this player has been off the charts.
Different team with Angel Reese on the floor. And it doesn't look like anything has been changed for Atlanta as Kalia Copper back at the free throw line and is off on the first of the pair. She is
insane, but it's worked for her, and she's gotten this team back in this one, sitting at 38 points right now, tying her
against LA. There's a minute on the clock. Not sure who got fouled.
Saying, where are my guards? Am I still dribbling this basketball?
Angel Reese with a 30-point performance. And she has been undeniably the anchor for them in the last few ball games. I need a new sheet of paper to just write down all the things that she can do as Atlanta comes out of the break, gets a steal. Angel Reese pulls it back out, and they'll wait to see if there's going to be a foul committed. 16 on their shot clock, less than 40 in the game. And Atlanta with a 10-point advantage, everything going their way to close out this ball game as Ryan Howard pulls up, cashes in, and seals the deal.
Howard said, give me Ryan Howard with her 5th 20-point game in the last 6 played for Atlanta.
Ryan Howard averaging about 18 on the season is DeWanna Bonner. Drops that one in. Get across the century mark. It looks like Ryan Howard will settle for the 99 and dribble it out at the top of the key. Atlanta pushing to 3-0 on this West Coast swing and are 24.